all of your ideal clients are literally just sitting in the audience waiting on you to sell to them. They're just there. They're just like, where is she? Buy something. My wallet is ready. Right now, give them a timely reason why that's relevant, and then say, hey, do you have 15 minutes to chat about your needs this year? You're gonna pitch them.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Speak Your Way to Cash show. We are diving deep into how you can land your first keynote speech this year. Now, before we get started, because you're here and it's free, I want you to like and subscribe and then share this with 3 people. Comment the number 3, and then I will respond thanking you, all right? So let's get into it. I'm not gonna delay. First off, let's talk about the types of speaking that there are. Keynoting is my personal favorite. This is the time when someone gets up in front of a large crowd, they give a 30 to 45-minute keynote speech. It's on a particular topic. It might be motivational depending on the audience, and then they go home. You're not typically doing deep teaching during a keynote presentation. You are literally motivating a group, making sure that your information is relevant to the masses, and then you're going on about your day. I love a keynote presentation. Now, there's also training. Training is typically taking place at like a breakout of an event. It's not on the main stage of an event. And a corporate training, or just a training in general, is one where you are going deep into your framework, a particular topic. It's less about the show. The reason I like the keynote is because I don't just speak, baby. I like to perform. If you like performing, if you like infusing the energy, if you like being in front of a crowd and getting them excited and engaging them and making it fun, keynoting is for you. If you're like, baby, I'm an expert, I ain't gonna do all that hoopla, but I got the goods when it comes to my expertise, maybe training is for you, even though I do think training should be fun too. But maybe training is for you. Let me tell you something right now. Every day of the week, all across the world, corporations are hiring people to train that are gonna be boring. So don't you worry about performance. If you're like, I don't know if I could do this, I'm not a keynote speaker, I don't got all that energy, you can be a corporate trainer. You can be a trainer, okay? Just give them the information. The information is the show. I still think you should perform, but don't worry about it if you ain't got that skill. Training can still work for you. And sometimes I have to go into training mode. I do that a lot when I'm going deep into topics. I'm training. If you come to a master class, if you've come to a summit of ours, I am going deep into a topic of training. There may be some elements of keynoting that you see in there, some motivational moments, but for the most part, I'm giving y'all that information, okay? Then there's consulting. Now, this is typically not put under types of speaking, but I want to bring it up because some of you will be selling to large organizations, but what you'll be selling is a group of consulting services. So they'll actually hire you. Like we had a Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think it was the association, prepaid for, I think, 100 consultations of small business owners. So they hired me, it was a corporate contract, for me to train in bulk to people in their community, to train their diverse vendors. So consulting is another form of speaking. It's just speaking one-to-one, right? So you still want to make sure that you keep that in your back pocket when determining what you want to do. But if you're watching this video, you're curious about the keynote life. Okay, so let's get into the keynoting situation. First thing I want to talk about is what organizations hire keynote speakers. The first organization that I want to talk about are colleges. Ooh, this is a juicy, juicy one. I love my college clients. First off, colleges hire the sweetest people. So whereas corporate is a little more cutthroat, they send you them rude emails back. No, stop emailing me. I don't care. My college clients would talk to me, baby. They wouldn't have not a budget under the sun sometimes, but they would talk to me for an hour if I let them, because they're just an easier bunch. You know, the education industry is just not the same level of cutthroat all the time as the corporate industry. Chris comes from education. The conferences are great, right? So you have colleges that hire keynote speakers, and they're great. When I first started my paid speaking journey, I exclusively worked with colleges, and it was a great industry to sink my teeth into. It's a defined market. There's a finite number of colleges in the United States. You can easily find the director of student activities. That's who you would pitch to. And they hire keynote speakers for special events all year round. And then the big ones, orientation and graduation. So you always have those opportunities. Another one is high schools, you guys. So for those assemblies, high schools are hiring. Who are they hiring? Keynote speakers. They're hiring keynote speakers. For high school graduation, sometimes they pay a keynote speaker. A lot of times they don't, but sometimes they do. Now, between high schools and colleges, the colleges are going to have more money, okay? It is what it is most of the time. Now, there are some ways that you can get a larger contract on the high school side, but you may want to go in as a trainer and do professional development. You may want to be selling them access to a particular program that you've put together, and they buy the program for all of their students. There's ways to do it in the high school market, but generally speaking, for a one-off keynote, colleges are most likely paying more. Then you have nonprofits, foundations. They're hosting fundraisers. They need a good keynote speaker, someone who's going to come in and motivate and get those pockets open. Okay. And so that's another market that you can sell to. Additionally, you have associations, and this one is a literal gold mine. There are thousands of associations. And I remember when I first heard about associations, I was like, what are associations? So let me break down what an association is. It's kind of like, if you went to college, a student group, but for working professionals. So you know how in college there was like the fraternities and the sororities, and then there was like Key Club that did like volunteer work, and then there was, I was on mock trial and student government, and then there was like college students for animal rights and da-da-da-da, and college students mock trial, and college students that are going to go into law, and then student government and United Nations and all of that. Student groups for all different interest types. Well, guess what, y'all? Adults got student groups too. And they're called associations. And I was actually in one. I was in the Black Women Lawyers Association of Chicago. Shout out to BWLA. There's a variety, though, that you may be a part of. And every single association breaks down in 3 ways. Y'all ready? National, regional, local. And guess what? For most large associations, there's a national conference, a regional conference, and local meetings, all of which may be hiring keynoters depending on the size and needs of the assembly. So associations are a great place to find keynote speeches. Then, how do you find these keynote speeches? So like if you're thinking about like, okay, well, we know what types of organizations are hiring keynote presenters, but how do I find keynote speeches? Now, I'm gonna give you a couple strategies. Number 1, you could put out a Google alert for call for speakers. When you put out a Google alert for call for speakers, you can do call for speakers sales conference, call for speakers marketing conference. Pro tip, go to ChatGPT, tell them I am a speaker who specializes in blank. Give me at least 20 Google alerts that I could put out so that I am notified whenever a new conference is looking for speakers or a new conference in this area is announcing their dates, right? When I do my Google alerts, I think I put in like 2025 just so that I get Google alerts for upcoming conferences, but you can just do a Google alert and it'll come to you. You can have a VA sort through it. So that's one. When you actually get the Google alerts back though, I do not recommend you submit the call for speakers proposal all the time. I recommend you go directly to the organizer and you say, hey, I'm a professional keynote speaker. I speak on this topic. I looked at your agenda from last year. It looked like the speakers were amazing, but I didn't see anyone covering insert your topic here. And that's going to be specifically relevant because right now, give them a timely reason why that's relevant. And then say, hey, do you have 15 minutes to chat about your needs this year? You're going to pitch them. You're going to pitch them. Another way that you can find conferences, there is a database for associations. If you Google it, just Google association database, and it will pull up one of the large databases for associations. You're going to then sort in that database by associations with more than 500 members. Go to their website, go to events tab. Look at the events. Another way that you can find keynote speeches is I want you to look up the top 15 keynote speakers on your topic. Then I want you to go to their LinkedIn pages and I want you to scrape their LinkedIn posts for times where they take pictures of themselves speaking somewhere and then they tag whoever brought them in. Note the conference, note the name, pitch them the following year or pitch them for their next event, all right? That is how you're going to do it as well. And the most effective way to do that is the last one. Like one of the easiest things that you can do is find where other speakers are speaking and then go there and speak there too. And don't pitch a competitive topic. If someone speaks directly on the same topic as you, find an angle that they don't cover and then pitch that for the following year. Many times conferences don't want to bring back the same speaker over and over and over again. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. One of my early keynote speeches was for the Phi Alpha Delta. And I was just getting started in my speaking career, and I spoke for their national conference. And it was a legal fraternity. And the first year I spoke, they said they didn't have my full budget. I think they gave me like maybe, I don't know, $500. Don't quote me on that, but I know it wasn't $1,000. And I went there and I spoke, and the following year they actually paid my rate. And even though I went for $500, they allowed me to sell my books. So we were able to make thousands of dollars in book sales, cash book sales, in the back of the room while I was speaking. So when you go to these conferences, think about, can I sell product? Can I take product? Can I bring product? And don't be afraid, if you're like, I'm brand new to this, to go speak at a conference. If you're free on that date and your calendar is looking as blank as it can be, go out and speak, okay? Get some experience. Always ask for your fee. Always negotiate your fee. But if you really want to speak somewhere, go. There's always two ways that you can get paid to speak. You can get paid to speak from the organizer. That's the traditional way that we're talking about now. But you can also get paid to speak from the audience. There are some conferences that you're going to go to and speak because all of your ideal clients are literally just sitting in the audience waiting on you to sell to them. They're just there. They're just like, where is she? Buy something. My wallet is ready. And so you want to go to those conferences, and at the end of that conference, your talk, maybe they pay you to speak, maybe they don't. Who cares? You want to make an offer to that audience, and you want that offer to be free. And then after they buy or they opt into whatever your freebie is, you want to have a freebie that's so good that gets all those people to opt in on the next page. Like, let's say they opt into a checklist. On the thank you page, I want you to say this language. I am so glad you heard me speak at this organization and event. Apply below to see if you qualify for a complimentary audit with a member of our team. And then you're gonna have them apply to potentially do a sales call with you so that you can sell them into a particular service. We've done events where we've spoken, where we weren't paid to speak on the front end, where we've made 6 figures on the back end because the audience was perfect for what we sold. And so this means, listen closely, folks. I don't want y'all on the internet saying Miss Speak Your Way to Cash told you to speak your way for free. No. This means that you can only do that strategy if you qualify the audience. That means when they ask you to speak, you can't be thirsty. That's what you say back in the day. Ooh, she thirsty. You know what I mean? You can't be thirsty. You have to actually ask them, okay, how many people are going to be there? And when they tell you how many people are going to be there, let me just give y'all a pro tip. People be lying. Maybe unknowingly, but people be lying. So don't just ask how many people are going to be there this year. I want you to ask them how many people showed up to the event last year. And of the people that showed up, how many were business owners? And do you collect any data about the size of their business? How many employees did the average person had? What were the job titles of those who were present? Was it the CEO? Was it their team? Was it the director of HR? Was it an HR associate? What's the percentage of corporate leaders that'll be there versus individuals? If it's for entrepreneurial events, what size are the companies that you bringing out? Have they already started a business? What percentage was pre-revenue? You'd be surprised what data serious event organizers collect on their audience. There's nothing wrong with you asking for that data, particularly when you are donating time, okay? There's nothing wrong with donating time. Like, I'm telling you right now, some of y'all are sitting at home. I feel this in my spirit. Ain't nothing on your calendar. And you saying no to every opportunity in your inbox. Baby, you got to create some momentum for yourself. You need to be creating opportunities to make money. And that means you cannot be invisible. You cannot be hiding. Now I'm going to give y'all a bonus way to Keynote that wasn't mentioned before. You can host your own event in Keynote. You can go to your local library. You can ask them what it costs to rent a room. Most local libraries let cardholders rent rooms for free. You can say, okay, great, I'm going to host a free community event. You can promote it on Eventbrite, promote it on Facebook, and do a keynote speech to that audience. Make sure that the people you're attracting are people that you can do business with or sell another offer to or sell another service to. And then you can go on ahead and make you some money. But you should not be sitting at home with an empty calendar, nothing to do, wondering why ain't nobody reaching out to you. They don't know you, so they ain't calling. Okay? Like, let me explain something. They don't know me neither. That's why I pitch, okay? And sometimes they do know you, but they don't know exactly what you do. I just spoke at an event, Funnel Hacking Live. It was over like 4,500 entrepreneurs in the building. And guess what? I pitched for the opportunity. And Russell did know me, but he may not have known how I could best serve his audience. And do you know the topic that I pitched him was the exact topic that I spoke on, which was how you can use props to overcome objections at events that you host so that you can make more sales. That's a very unique topic. No one else in the history of Funnel Hacking Live had ever spoken about that specific topic specifically, okay? So when I pitched it, it was an angle that was brand new. It was unique. People maybe touched elements of it, but not the whole thing. And so that was what got me in the door in front of 4,500 of my ideal audience, because I serve entrepreneurs. So if I could choose, and let me tell you how it is, I had bought my ticket for Funnel Hacking Live 2 years ago. So I was going to be in the building anyways. I already had 4-5 tickets. That's another thing. If I'm going to be at an event anyways, like it's a fun event, it's a good event, it's a lit event, like it's Essence Fest or something like that. If I'm going to be there anyways, I would rather be there as a speaker than an attendee any day of the week. Because when you go as a speaker, networking is easy. When you go to an event as a keynote speaker, all you got to do, if you do your thing on stage, is stand outside. Them folks going to come to you. They're going to tell you about their business. They're going to ask you about your services. So networking is easy. When you go as an attendee, now you're going up having awkward conversations. Hi, my name is so-and-so. Oh, what do you do? Oh, what do you do? Oh, what do you do? Oh, okay. Oh, you have Instagram? I have Instagram. Oh, look at my digital card. No, I don't want to do none of that. I hate small talk, number one. So if y'all see me out, do say hi. I'm very nice. But like, I don't like small talk. So if it gets awkward, I may have to chuck the deuces. You know what I mean? I get it because it's awkward for me too. But what's easier is when someone hears you speak and they go, oh my God, I just heard you speak. Now, when you said this, what exactly did you mean by that? Because I have a business that does that, and I would love for you to help me. You've given them data for why they should talk to you. And the most interested people are going to come up to you. They're going to wait in line to speak to you. And now you're strategically networking. So if you're going to be there anyways, tell hey, I'm going to actually be at the event. If any speakers cancel, please call me. Ooh, look at that. Another place you can find keynote speeches is Eventbrite. Don't sleep on Eventbrite. You can find them on Eventbrite. You absolutely can, okay? You can also search on Instagram, #conference. See what comes up. Search the word conference 2025. Search the word live event 2025 and see what comes up. And then slide in their DMs and pitch them. There are some big events that have their own Instagram pages for the actual conference. Slide in the DM of the conference event page. Hey, I love your post. I actually shared it with my audience. I would love to learn more about it. You know, we have an audience of X thousands amount of people. They would love to learn about this. If I speak, I'm happy to do an Instagram live, collaborate, promote it, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. What I'm saying is, don't just sit around and watch me on YouTube. Go out and pitch something. Do something. Make something shake. Make this your year that you get on more stages. Set a goal for how many stages you want to get on. Ooh, and before we leave, because y'all know I'm the sales girl, so I got to tell you this. I don't care if you're paid or not. You need to have a strategic way for people to work with you after the fact. Here's how that may look. It may look like you running ads to the location of the event, promoting a particular opt-in or offer. It may look like you hosting your own book signing or fireside chat immediately after you speak. It may look like you having a booth and hiring someone just for the day to stand at that booth and collect emails, leads, and book sales calls and give them a goal for how many sales calls they should book. It may look like having a freebie that has a funnel on the back end that asks them to actually take part in something else. It may look like, it can look any number of ways. Folks, any number of ways, but you want to make sure, you want to be sure and certain and positive that if you are going somewhere and standing in front of thousands of people, you don't just consider your talk, you consider your leverage. How are you going to leverage this opportunity to ensure that for every speech, you get 3 opportunities out of it? I'm gonna tell you, I'm speaking somewhere, I'm not just talking about other speeches. I also think about what media can I do while I'm in town? What news outlets can I go on while I'm in town? What features can I get while I'm there? How can I best leverage this opportunity? You know what I mean? Like really think about what are all the ways I can leverage being in this new market. Can I tell other people, hey, I'm in town. I'll be there for 5 days. I'd love to do a keynote while I'm there. And because I'm there anyways, I can waive my travel fee. Another way to get keynote speeches is to arrange your own speaking tour. So literally, and I'm gonna give y'all a gangster strategy. You could go out and pitch banks and credit unions to sponsor a speaking tour for colleges or high schools. So the bank or the credit union pays you. At the end of it, you give them an opportunity to sign up and get an account with this particular bank or credit union, but you are the one keynote speaking and organizing the tour. So you solidify the sponsor first, and then you backfill it with the events. What college is gonna say you can't come if they don't have to pay for it and it's sponsored? I mean, it's not hard to sell a free offer. You know what I mean? So at that point, you're now getting experience keynote speaking. You're still getting paid for it. You're helping them. You have goals to get them a certain amount of people signed up, possibly. But it's a great opportunity for you to get that experience with keynote speaking. Okay, so I gave y'all a lot of good info. You need to make sure you register for the next Speaker Way to Cash event. It's going to be one of the first lines in the description. So our next free event that's helping you to land more contracts, land more speaking, get paid more for your expertise is coming up. So go to the description and register. It's free, y'all. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share with 3 people, leave a comment of what your speaking topic is, and let me know if you watched this video all the way to the end. If you watched it all the way to the end, put the word purple in the comments. We're gonna do a little private keyword, okay? I may choose somebody and do something special. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, I'll see y'all next time. If this was good, let me know. I hope it gave you some value.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the recipe.